20 signs karma is finally catching up to Camilla. And sign 11 is the one that should terrify her. She's now less popular than Prince Andrew, the Epstein prince. 40 years of image rehabilitation, millions spent on PR consultants, decades of planted newspaper stories, and she's still more hated than the most disgraced royal in modern history. I'm revealing all 20 signs. From the health crises, the palace is desperate to hide, to the poll proving her own generation turned against her, to the letter Diana wrote 30 years ago. By the end, you'll see exactly what Diana predicted and why she was right about everything. What did Diana write? The palace is still trying to bury it, and once you see sign 20, you'll understand why. 20 signs, all documented. Let's start with her collapsing health. Sign number 1, on her last legs. RadarOnline dropped a bombshell from palace insiders. Sources close to the royal household said Camilla can hardly walk anymore. Mobility issues that have been getting progressively worse for years. Feet deformities that doctors warned her about decades ago, now so severe she struggles to stand for extended periods at state events. She's 78 years old. She waited her entire adult life for that crown, endured decades of public hatred waiting for this moment. And now that she finally has it, her body is betraying her. Think about the irony here. All those years watching from the shadows while Diana, young, beautiful, radiant Diana, struggled under the weight of royal expectations. Camilla watched and waited, patient, calculating, knowing her time would eventually come. Well, her time came. She got the crown Diana never lived to wear, and she can barely carry it. Her own body is rejecting the role she spent 40 years fighting for. The weight of the crown isn't metaphorical anymore. It's physical. If that's not karma keeping an accurate score, I don't know what is. Sign number 2, the pneumonia crisis. November 2024, Remembrance Day. This isn't just another event on the royal calendar. It's sacred. The day the entire nation honors the soldiers who gave their lives for Britain. Missing it is absolutely unthinkable for any royal who actually cares about duty. Camilla missed it. Pneumonia, the palace announced to the press. She stayed home while Charles, already battling his own cancer diagnosis, stood alone at the cenotaph in front of the whole country. The king, visibly frail, representing the crown without his queen beside him. But here's what the palace didn't want you focusing on. BBC quietly reported that her fatigue lingered well into 2025. This wasn't just a bad week she bounced back from. Sources said she's been struggling to maintain anything close to a full royal schedule ever since. Her body is sending a message the palace can't spin away. The same message her critics have been saying for years. She was never built for this role. She just wanted the title. Sign number 3. Charles's cancer changes everything. February 5th, 2024. The announcement that shook the monarchy to its foundation. Buckingham Palace confirmed King Charles has cancer. The Daily Telegraph reported what the palace tried to soften with careful language. It's incurable. They used the word manageable. But let's be honest about what that actually means. Charles will carry this disease for the rest of his life, however long that turns out to be. Now think about what this really means for Camilla. Her entire existence as queen depends on one single thing. Charles being alive. Charles being on that throne. Charles being the only reason anyone pays attention to her at all. Without him, she becomes a historical footnote. A dowager queen with no real power and no real purpose. A woman William tolerates out of cold obligation, not genuine affection. A woman Harry publicly called dangerous to the entire family in his best-selling book. She waited 40 years for that crown. 40 years of scandal, hatred, and public humiliation. And now she has to watch the clock each single day, wondering how much time she actually has left at the top before it all disappears. That's not power. That's anxiety wearing a very expensive tiara. Sign number 4, Diana's astrologer predicts her retreat. This one genuinely gave me chills when I first read it. Debbie Frank was Princess Diana's personal astrologer. Not some random tabloid psychic, Diana's actual trusted spiritual advisor for years. She consulted with Debbie regularly during the worst period of her marriage, when Charles was sneaking off to see Camilla, and Diana felt completely alone in those palace walls. Hello Magazine interviewed Debbie Frank about Camilla's astrological chart for 2026. Her prediction: Camilla will be forced to step back from royal duties this year. The stars, she said, simply aren't aligned in Camilla's favor. Let that sink in. The woman who guided Diana through the Charles and Camilla nightmare is now predicting that karma will finally catch up to the other woman. Coincidence? Maybe. Cosmic justice? Diana's fans know exactly what it really is, but the poll numbers, they're absolutely brutal. Wait until you see what her own generation, the people who should understand her best, actually think of her. Sign number 5. Kate is outshining her everywhere. The Daily Beast put it perfectly. Kate outshines Camilla by a country mile. Public appearance after public appearance. State event after state event. Kate Middleton, now the Princess of Wales, is stealing the spotlight that Camilla spent her entire life waiting for, and she's doing it effortlessly. Watch them at any royal event. Really watch. Kate is naturally elegant where Camilla looks uncomfortable and stiff. Kate is genuinely beloved where Camilla is barely tolerated. Kate represents everything the modern monarchy wants to be. Camilla represents everything they're desperately trying to make people forget. And here's the cruel irony nobody talks about. Diana went through the exact same thing, constantly being outshone by a woman Charles actually loved. Only back then, Diana was the young, beautiful, captivating one doing the outshining. Now the roles have completely reversed. Camilla is the old guard being pushed aside by someone younger, more graceful, more naturally loved by the public. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it definitely rhymes. Sign number 6, Queen Kate headlines, January 2026. Times Magazine published a cover story that reportedly sent shockwaves through the halls of Buckingham Palace. The headline: Arise, Queen Kate. Not Queen Camilla, not celebrating the woman who actually holds the title right now. Kate, the future queen. Everyone is genuinely excited to see take the throne someday. Palace sources said Camilla was absolutely furious when she saw it. And honestly, of course she was. Each Queen Kate headline is a painful reminder of what the entire country is actually thinking. Camilla's reign is temporary, a placeholder, an awkward intermission before the main act begins. She waited 40 years to be queen, and now she gets to read headline after headline about how the whole world is just waiting for Kate to take over. Sign number 7, the shooing away video, September 2025. President Trump's state visit to the United Kingdom, a massive diplomatic event where the senior royals are supposed to demonstrate grace, unity, and British hospitality at its finest. Instead, a video went viral that showed something very different. Camilla was caught on camera appearing to shoo Kate away during the formal greeting line, a dismissive wave of her hand, like Kate was some inconvenient staff member rather than the future Queen of England. The internet went absolutely crazy. Millions of shares across all platforms. Thousands of comments all saying exactly the same thing. Petty, insecure, threatened. That's what the entire world saw that day. Not a gracious queen welcoming her successor with open arms. A jealous woman who can't handle being upstaged by someone younger and more beloved. Sign number 8. Kate's bigger tiara. This one sounds petty on the surface, but when you understand royal dynamics and what jewelry actually means in that world, it tells you everything. State banquet at Buckingham Palace. Major diplomatic event. Kate showed up wearing a tiara, not just any tiara, but the largest and most magnificent one she had ever worn to any royal event in her entire life. Closer UK reported that Camilla was absolutely hopping mad about it, genuinely furious, over jewelry. Think about what that actually reveals about her psychology. Camilla is the queen. She has the crown, the title, the throne itself. She's supposed to be the most important woman in any room she enters, and she's still threatened by a younger woman wearing bigger sparkles to dinner. Diana must be laughing wherever she is. This is exactly the kind of insecure pettiness she dealt with for years. But those are just family squabbles and palace drama. The poll numbers prove something much, much worse. Her entire country has systematically rejected her. Sign number 9, 41% negative approval. YouGov released their official royal approval ratings in October 2025. The numbers are absolutely devastating for Camilla. 45% positive, 41% negative. Nearly half the entire country actively disapproves of the woman wearing their crown. Not indifferent, actively negative. They looked at their queen and consciously decided, no thank you. And remember what this number represents. This is after decades of careful image rehabilitation. Millions of pounds spent on PR consultants and media strategists. Mark Bollin's famous Operation Mrs. PB. Years of carefully planted positive stories in friendly newspapers. Royal correspondents who owed the palace favors. After all that coordinated effort, all that money, all those carefully crafted headlines, half the country still can't stand her. Diana has been gone for nearly 30 years now, and she's still more popular than the woman who replaced her. That's not a PR problem you can fix with more money. That's karma keeping a very accurate scorecard. Sign number 10. Least popular senior royal. GB News confirmed what everyone suspected, but nobody in the palace wanted to say out loud. Camilla is officially the least popular senior working royal in the entire United Kingdom, below Charles, below William, below Kate, below Princess Anne, below Edward and Sophie. Dead last, rock bottom. Absolutely no one below her on the list. She holds the highest title in the land and has the lowest approval rating of anyone who actually does the work. We're halfway through now, and the next 10 signs prove this isn't just bad luck or bad PR strategy. This is systematic rejection from all directions. Her own generation, the American public, the entire Commonwealth, even Diana's own sons. And Diana predicted all of it would happen. Her letter, we're getting there. Sign number 11. Less popular than Prince Andrew. Here it is. Sign 11. The one I specifically promised in the hook would make your jaw drop. Newsweek published the American approval ratings for the royal family. Camilla has a net negative 13% approval rating in the United States. But here's the part that should genuinely keep her awake at night. She is officially less popular in America than Prince Andrew. Read that again and let it really sink in. Prince Andrew, the man stripped of all his military titles, the man who lost his royal patronages, the man forever associated with Jeffrey Epstein and everything that name represents, the most publicly disgraced member of the royal family in modern history. More Americans actively like him than like the Queen. 40 years of trying desperately to be accepted. 40 years of waiting, scheming, rehabilitating her shattered image, and she still pulls worse than the Epstein prince. That's not bad luck. That's the universe sending a crystal clear message. Sign number 12. Her own generation rejected her most. This is the data point that should absolutely terrify Camilla more than any other number we've discussed. Newsweek broke down the approval ratings by age group. And guess, which demographic hates her the most? People aged 59 and older, Camilla's own generation, the people who grew up alongside her, the people who should theoretically understand her situation the best, the people who lived through the same era and faced similar challenges. Negative 24% approval among her own peers. The people who should be most sympathetic are the most hostile. These are people who watched Diana's entire tragic story unfold in real time. Who remembers seeing that shy 19-year-old arrive at the palace full of hope? Who remember the Camillagate tapes, Charles saying he wanted to be Camilla's tampon? Who watched Diana's devastating panorama interview and believed her words? Who wept in the streets when she died? They haven't forgotten. After 30 long years, they still haven't forgiven, and they never will. That's not a polling anomaly. That's karma with an extremely long memory. Sign number 13. Princess Anne's opposition. GB News reported this back in 2023, and it tells you everything about how the real royals view Camilla behind closed doors. Princess Anne, Charles's sister, the hardest working royal in the entire family, the one everyone actually respects, reportedly told Camilla directly to her face, "You're not queen, you're the queen's consort." Anne was there for all of it. She watched Diana struggle and suffer. She saw what her brother did to his young wife. She knows precisely who Camilla is and what role she played in destroying Diana's happiness. And unlike everyone else in that family, Anne doesn't pretend. Sign number 14, against Elizabeth's wishes. Queen Elizabeth made one thing absolutely clear before she died. Her sincere wish, those were her exact words, was for Camilla to be called Queen Consort. Not Queen, Queen Consort. They changed it anyway. NPR and BBC both covered the controversy. The consort quietly dropped. Elizabeth tolerated Camilla because she had no choice, but she never fully accepted her. And even from beyond the grave, Elizabeth's final wish was completely ignored. Sign 20 is what I've been building toward this entire video. Diana's letter. What she actually wrote 30 years ago that the palace has desperately tried to bury. We're almost there. Sign number 15. 67% want the monarchy abolished. NatCen Survey 2024. Among young people, the generation that will outlive Camilla, outlive Charles, outlive everyone in those palaces. 67% favor abolishing the monarchy entirely. 2/3 of the future wants to end what Camilla destroyed her reputation to join. 2/3 of the people who will decide the monarchy's fate want it gone. She wrecked a marriage, endured 3 decades as Britain's most hated woman. Death threats, protesters everywhere she went, millions spent on rehabilitation campaigns, all for a crown the next generation wants to throw in the Thames, all for an institution that may not survive another generation. Sign number 16. Harry put it in print forever. Spare January 2023. 1.43 million copies, day 1. Guinness World Record fastest selling nonfiction book ever. Diana's youngest son told his truth to the world. Harry called Camilla dangerous, his exact word, called her the villain, said she leaked stories about him, trading negative coverage of Diana's son for positive coverage of herself, said she sacrificed him and William on her PR altar. Books don't disappear. They don't get buried by PR campaigns. 100 years from now, historians will still read Harry's account. Students will study his accusations. Writers will quote his words. His testimony preserved forever in libraries around the world. Sign number 17. The Commonwealth is walking away. Barbados became a republic in 2021. Removed the crown. Removed Camilla's future title. Jamaica announced their next. 7 of 14 remaining realms actively discussing leaving. Each nation that walks away looked at Camilla as their future queen and said, "No thank you." Sign number 18. William has never forgiven her. Watch William and Camilla together. Study the body language. Polite, correct, completely distant. William was 15 when Diana died, old enough to know exactly who Camilla was. He begged Charles not to marry her. We know from Harry's book. Charles chose Camilla anyway. When Charles dies, Camilla will need William's protection. Does she have it? Look at his eyes. No warmth. Just cold duty. Sign number 19. Diana's ghost gets stronger. Netflix, The Crown, Spencer, Diana documentaries each year. Diana died in 1997. Somehow she's more present now than ever. Camilla cannot compete with a ghost. Diana is frozen forever. Young, beautiful, tragic. Camilla ages. Diana doesn't. Each year, that gap grows wider. Sign number 20. Diana's prediction is coming true. Here it is. The sign I promised. The one the palace desperately wants buried forever. Diana wrote a letter, the note Paul Burrell revealed to the world. She predicted what would happen to her. She was terrifyingly right about her own fate. But that letter contained something else, something the palace has tried desperately to keep out of the conversation. Diana believed karma would catch up to the people who tormented her. She believed the universe keeps score. She wrote about it, told people close to her, held on to that belief even in her darkest moments. Look at Camilla now. 20 signs we just covered. Body failing, Charles's cancer threatening everything, less popular than the Epstein prince, her own generation rejecting her most, the next generation wanting abolition, Harry's accusations preserved forever. William's cold distance. Kate outshining her everywhere. Diana's memory growing stronger while Camilla grows weaker. 20 signs, all documented, all pointing to one conclusion. Diana predicted this, wrote about it 30 years ago when no one would listen. She was right about everything. She always was. And Camilla is living proof. 20 signs, all documented, all pointing to exactly what Diana wrote 30 years ago. She predicted this, and she was right. But there's one thing William has been planning that will hurt Camilla more than all 20 signs combined. Click here to see what Diana's son has been preparing and why Camilla can't stop it.